welcome to this series on Burp Suit. Starting with Burp Suit, and of course, my work is already started. And of course, our plan is to go into Bug Bounty. So, Bug Bounty is going to rock, and it's been a while that some of you have requested to have this particular series, and see, we'll start this and probably get good bounties. Right, so that's the strategy. Okay, so there are so many places to start with bug bounty, guys. HackerOne is one of the best places. So let's sign in and we'll get to know a bit about bug bounty. At the same time, we search for bug bounty programs. It is so huge, people earn a lot of money. At the same time, people are learning a lot of things on bug bounty, and there are so many bug bounty hunters in the world. It's the red ocean sort of thing. Everybody's doing bug bounty, it seems. So basic stuff. How much do bug bounty hunters make? Countries need to work their skills, blah blah blah. According to BBC, ethical hackers can earn more than 350,000 yearly. Oops. That's good. About hackers an average of $50,000. But please understand, these are all can be bit out of the truth. Please understand, this is kind of a hard thing to do. But for 1 second, it doesn't mean that we should try it. You should basically try it out as much as possible. So when you say bug bounty, you get all these articles, and HackerOne is at the top. And what else? 14 essential bug bounty programs. So what else? That's a nice big bug bounty article in Medium. So you know what is bug bounty, so I don't need to give any introduction to bug bounty. What is bug bounty? That's very basic information. And of course, different companies do offer bug bounty. Yep, European Union. Okay, and Facebook program is quite popular. And GitHub, they have their own bounty programs. It's quite good. And also Google, they are one of the pioneers. And Intel, Microsoft, Mozilla, they have, and Netflix also. Oh, Netflix, yeah. So they offer it to bug crowd. Pentagon, so maybe something. WordPress is doing really cool in bug bounty area. Anyway, so GitHub, bug bounty. So this is leaderboard points. I see. I think you guys have to work on these things. These are cool stuff. Right. So the rules, target, scope, rewards, everything is there. So FAQ is given. But reward, how can I submit a video, proof of concept? Right. So all these things are. So I'm not going to do anything on that because you guys knows what is bug bounty in and out. So today's objective is to not to do any of that. Right. So if you go to HackerOne, you will find some interesting things here and there. So I don't have anything submitted, even though I preached and in practice. So I'm going to practice it now. Right. Okay. So if you go to activities, you'll find out activities which are taken place, which is cool, right? You can learn a lot from them. So see, like, oh, that's good. $20,000 by this guy called Vux, William Bowling. All right. So he had earned $20,000 8 days ago. So that's a lot of money. So they have done it for GitLab, arbitrary file rate via the uploads, rewriter, then moving this. So we will try to study these things, analyze these things. Don't worry, we'll come to this. $2,000, $1,000, it means a lot, right? So this bugger has been earning a bit. All right, we see, yeah. So he's been earning, yeah, continuously, like see, 10,000, another 12,000. So he's now see, like these are patterns, right? So these guys are. This guy is having in-depth knowledge on GitLab, so he's earning some good money from GitLab. So first one is a file uploading issue. and then the flag injection and the XXS. The XXS are so popular. So don't worry if you don't know. I think you have learned the web security stuff, but if you have not learned, we are going to learn it anyway. So this is like a very introductory type of course. We are going to start with Burp suite, and we are going to go step by step by step. Right? So we are going to then do BLAB, OWASP, do shop. So we are going to do all this crazy stuff. Right? It's going to be a nice journey. Right, and so he's ranked number 8 on GitLab and some other things might not. Right, okay. So we look at the GitLab program as well. So GitLab is more of, I believe, it's not web-based bounty. Let's see. Okay, so policies are loading, critical 20,000. They are paying a lot. All right, source code. No, it's okay, but still. Some servers are in scope, rewards, out of scope, shop.gitlab, forum.gitlab, blah blah blah. So these are not possible, and a lot of information is there, right? So, but when you're starting, of course, you can start with any of these. So this is in scope, customers GitLab, jitter.im, or jitter is with GitLab. People who don't know jitter, I think it's a great tool out there. You guys can register in jitter. Okay, jitlab.com is there, so you guys can work with that as well. All right, it's cool. Okay, my net is too slow. I hate that. All right, it's okay. Right, so these are some of the places that you can have some fun. Right, and then, okay, so we can select some programs. So we can go to the directory. And then guys, you can select a particular program. So when you're selecting the program, just select something convenient. There's one called Helium. They're giving $100, so we check that one. And there's one called Coho. Yeah, probably we can do one of those. Don't worry. And then you have top code is there. All right, but it's managed, so we'll not touch on the managed ones. Okay, so we have 2 to go ahead with. Not to worry, helium.com. So we check in scope, ata.helium.com, console.helium.com, and helium.com. Alright, so it's not bad. There are a lot of links. Out of scope is network dashboard. Yeah, so those are basically you have to take out. Alright. Okay, so that's quite a handful to start up with. So now we know where to start. So now guys, we got to start with our GitHub. Oh, sorry, Burp suite, right? Okay, so leave. I don't need anything. Okay, I'm going to create the project. I'm going to create a file, but please do remember it might take up your space. Okay, let me quickly check. I have some already existing projects. Right, so nothing bad, nothing serious. So let me save my file. I'm gonna folder. This is session 1. This is intro 1. So I want to do several intros. And this is Burp intro. Okay, then next, they use the Burp before. I can create a configuration file and reload it. So if you are serious on some of those things, sorry, if you become a serious pen tester or web researcher, bounty hunter, you might use these things. But we'll go with the defaults. Start Burp. Right, cool. So we'll wait a bit and until it loads up. I'm using my browser. I'm going to use a browser. Basically, alright. So basically, I'm going to use a specific browser for my purpose. Easy for me. So I'm on a MacBook, so I have several browsers. I have Safari for some of my work, and I have Chrome. and of course I have Firefox for all these things, right? So best to do these things on a VM, but okay. And then you can have Tor and other things. So there are browsers to select. And then of course every time you want to do this, you have to go to File, set the proxy. So you go to Preferences, and then you can select proxy here. And once you go to the proxy network settings, you have to say manual proxy configuration, and then it'll be 127.0.0.1.80.80, which is the director for the Burp suite proxy. People who, I do think you all know what is a Burp, what is something a Burp suite is. So Burp suite is a proxy where we are going to send information to the proxy and proxy to outside world. So outside world to the proxy and come back, and then you can get it in the browser. So this is basically what you do, right? So this method is also fine, but if you don't like doing it all the time, you always have the option. Okay, my Burp is loaded, that's all right. So you can always, let me check it's in intercept mode. I'm going to stop the intercept. Yeah, so here now you can use the Foxy proxy. So you can install Foxy proxy into your browser. So search for, even it's Brave or whatever the shit you're using, you will have this plugin. So if it is Firefox, it's the extension, right? It's the extension, and Chrome, I think they are plugins or something. Yeah, whatever the shit, you can install it. So you go there and install it, click it, blah blah blah, it works out. So nothing fancy, right? So once you have it, you can just select, you can turn off, then you can browse as normal, or you use the Burp suite, right? That's what you guys have to do. So once you do that, all good. So everything goes in between the Burp suite, right? So at the moment my Burp suite is working, so always you get the dashboard. This is the figure that you're getting. Please remember I'm using the Burp suite professional version, right? So professional version can be a bit expensive, but still, if you want to do, would say, very serious sort of bug bounty pen testing and other things, you guys have to take that, or otherwise don't really worry, you can use the free version, right? So, and when you go here now, so everything is now closed down, so I'm not intercepting anything. Okay, one other thing, if you found, like, when you're proxying things, or if Burp is intercepting things, sometimes you will get the concern of, you will find an error, right? So this error is very popular among Burp suite, because Burp suite is redirecting traffic, so there will be a security issue or a certificate issue. So to do that, so you guys can of course Burp suite certificate issue. So I've already solved it, so I'm not going to show that here. You might have to go to Portrigger, the Portrigger site, and you guys can basically find the tutorial how to do things. So it's quite straightforward. If you know a bit of English, you can read it and understand, right? So I'm not going to redo that shit. So depending on your browser, but you don't have the shit browser, Brave browser here, but that other shits are there. So you can run this video, install blah blah blah. So all this stuff are there. So recently Portugal is getting really good on giving the content. They know that everybody's doing this shit. So so because of that, they're pushing out a lot of good content. The tutorials are really good, and it's quite cool. And the academy and the research sections are quite filled with details. And the academy, once you log in, you will understand there are a lot of cool things to do: server-side injection, cache poisoning, DOM-based vulnerabilities, access control vulnerabilities, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, CSR. Some people say this is not being used. What the hell is there then? Anyway, excessive injection, the shit is there. So, and there are so many other things, cool things here. As you can see, Hall of Fame. This shit, loads of things to learn, understand. and to consume. Right. So solve the certificate issue, guys. I'm not going to worry about it. You guys are grown-ups. Right. So once you come to the Burp Suite Pro, all right. Once into remember, guys, I have a very low disk space, so my disk project is at the moment 120 MB. It's eating out the memory, not the memory really, but the disk space. I have a very low in machine here, so I'm really worried about these things. All right. So you guys have enough, plenty to, you don't have to worry about. Otherwise, yeah, just consider that as well. Yeah, it's already 134 MB. That that shit is eating out the space. Anywho, uh, then the disk temperature. Who cares about that? Sorry, temp, and the memory is used that. That's also is okay. And okay, we start with this. So you can see the tasks. So you can see there are some tasks up and running. So these are old ones, I believe. That's okay. So it's the running state, post state, finish state. So I'm not really worried about them. Post, nope, nothing finished. Nope, running. Yeah. So these two guys are running yet. I don't want them. Shall I delete them? Yeah, I'll delete them. So I don't want them to consume memory unnecessarily. I will load them later. And then of course, guys, you'll have the event log, whatever had happened, it'll be here, and all the issues they are identified. So so this is really cool. So you'll find all the issues here, the ones with exclamation marks, with transport security is not okay. So this is about different sites. Even Google, they have like explained that okay, there are some issues, guys. Right. So let's not worry too much about these issues at the moment, but these issues are important, right? And then you can start a scan from here and then give out whatever URL you want to scan. So there are two options, scroll and the scroll audit. Scroll is basically they will find out details about the site. Audit is basically they will find out vulnerabilities of the site with the given set of databases, like what Nessus do. The shit Nessus does, that also can do from here. And also this one is getting very convenient for pen testers. Also they can also do scan networks and can do things like that. Quite cool. And when you go to scan configurations, of course, when you start the scan, it will come here. And then of course, like Nessus, you have all this. Oops, what happened? Okay, it's fine. So you can delete that, select from library. So you have scan options, scrolls limits, 10 minutes. So all these things are there. Don't worry, we'll do all these things. A lot of crazy stuff to do. All right, that's good. So you can do a poll or audit. So remember, you guys have to give the configuration. All right, so we'll come to that later on. And then you can log into somewhere and you can do that. And also you can create threads and other things to do that. And then of course there are other things like audit, like roles. All these things can be done. Right, so that's almost the same thing, right? Right. So that's basically it, and that's the dashboard. I finished the dashboard. That's really cool. And then the target. Why the hell these other things are there? All right. Can I clear these things? Let me delete these things. Showing. Okay. I think I can delete. Remove from scope. I don't like that. Okay. Yeah, it's not the way to do it. Delete selected items. That's the, yeah. Let it go. I don't want them. Please go. Yeah. So that's a very cool view. So you can get the sitemap. The sitemap is basically showing you all the content related to the site. So we'll go one by one and we'll understand what is there. So a lot of contents here, which is cool. By the way, this is Java, right? So this is a Java shit. And then the scopes can be set. So these are the excluded scopes. So I don't want them as well. So later on, like if you want, you can remove them. So let me remove them. So I select everything. Yep. Okay, so we'll start from scratch. Right, and then you'll find your issue definitions, like things that you have to learn, or OS command injection. If you never learn web security, even you can learn it. Right? So all this OS stuff and other things are there. So you see the severity level, informational value to high critical value. So the last one is the serialized objection HTTP message. Cross origin, yeah, you have learned that. Cross-site scripting, DOM base, reflected DOM, stored DOM, lot to learn. And SQL injection, CSR, CSS is here. Yeah. So okay, some information stuff is there. So cross origin resource sharing, it's information. Anywho, that's fine. Then of course you go to the proxy. So proxy options, this is where everything works out. So you set the proxy, but remember guys, you can set a different proxy, and this is where you set certificates. That's all cool. And this, using these cases, you can do some additional changes, which there's so many options, and WebSockets, and the history of cases I have been using the Burp. So again, I believe I can simply delete all these things. Anyway, anywho, I'm not really worried about the history. Intercept, so intercept is on now, so I can start doing things. And then yeah, so that's basically the major things that you have to know. The rest is basically when needed we can go things like intruder, so where you can do password hacking, repeater, we can try out with different parsers of messages, sequencer, decoder is good. If you say I love hacking shit. Yeah. So I can encode this in HTML, base64, hex, octal. That's good, no? Smart decoder. So this is encode as encode as HTML. Yep. So it's already HTML. Encode as binary. That's a binary. Encode as hex. Anyhow. So this you can check HTML. Alright, so that's there. So likewise you can do that, right? So comparer, you can compare two things like sitemaps. So there are so many things you can compare. And then the extend is really cool. You have a lot of apps you can use here. We can of course talk about this. So as an example, if you don't have the intruder in your free version, there's something called turbo intruder, so which you can install. So there's some documentation here, and some of them are pro where you have to pay money even though you have the pro. So yeah, so your GitHub account is there. No? This guy is famous, yes. And some project options and use options. Yeah, those things not to worry too much. All right, so right, so now guys, we are going to start stuff. I'm here in my Firefox. What I'm going to do now is start with what okay, we can start with we'll start with www.sliit.lk. Right. Okay, sleep.lk. Let's go and see anything is happening. Nope, nothing. Okay, let's go. Cool, I don't. Sitemap. Let me. Okay, it's coming. Is it coming? Nope, nothing yet. Intercept on. Intercept off. Let me check whether. Yeah, that's all right. Okay. Intercept off. Okay. Okay. It's coming. It's coming. So this is from the proxy you can intercept. So this is a packet intercepted. So guys, this is going to apply.sit.lk. So you can check the parameters here, your keys, whatsoever, and the headers if you're using any. Get. So these are the HTTP headers. You have to learn headers. Without headers, you can't do web security. Okay, so the get is there. So if you want to kind of remove them and send, you can change this. Hex is there. So this is the row, and I can say post. All right, and then I can either forward or drop. I forward it. What is that? It's on Twitter. Okay, who cares Twitter? Right, forward, 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 forward. All right. So there are other things which I don't like, so we can remove them later. Don't worry, guys. At the moment, we'll work with that. Okay, see, there's something happened. Length required. So yeah, so that's the header length. So I modified it. So there's a problem. See, you can really make things worse. Don't worry. Yeah, so that's basically it. So if I go to the sitemap, so it is on that. That's odd. Scope. I don't. Let me do this. I do like to have slip there, so I'm going to add. Or you can say paste URL. Okay. Yeah. Mm, okay. I'm going to refresh this. Okay. Forward. 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 Have I done anything earlier? Logging out of scope prefix is disabled. We enable. Let me go to a different one and see. So what is the issue? Okay. Okay. Let me go to HackerOne, HackerOne.com. Close this and this and this, and I will, for the moment, I switch off the intercept, and I will go here, and I'm going to sign in. Right. Already signed in. That's cool. Okay. Okay. Let me go to the directory, and then select a program. So I already selected in other browser. Probably I can get one from there as well. So yeah, the helium.com was one. Right, so that's probably something that I can start with. Okay, let me go to helium.com and check my Burp. Okay. Okay, something is being a bit of a trouble. Okay, I'll come back. I'll check on this. Okay, so I restarted Burp and suddenly it starts working. So I don't like that when it happens, but what to do? So you can see. So all these things are getting learned, as you can see. Lot of things. So, but only I have gone into SLIT site, SLIT site, and the Helium site, and also the program which is in the HackerOne. So you can see in scope, Ota, Helium, Borrower, and other things. Blockchain. Yep. And also out of scope is network.helium.com. Yeah, so as an example, if you want to make sure that you don't check anything here, maybe it can be illegal, or even it can give you problems. So what you can do is you can go to scope, and then you guys can basically paste URL. That would be, so that's cool stuff, right? And then I'm not really worried about any of these things, guys. So see, you can see a lot of things. Mapbox, I'm not really worried about any of those. But what you can see here is all the sitemaps. When you click on any of these things, you can get a lot of details about these sites. And okay, so not really worried about these things. Facebook also, I'm not sure. So this is like some specific information. Not worried. Google, not worried. Okay, so I'm worried only about helium.com, which I'm going to add to the scope. And you added the item to target scope. Do you want the Proxy to stop spinning out of scope items to the history of other Burp? Yes, please do that and select all K also at the scope. Right, guys. So now what I'm going to do, so yeah, so that's the scope. You can see the helium.com and all that. And how to remove the auto scope item, so you can see show only. So you click here in this bar and you can get show only in scope items. And then you can do some searching and pull regex and also status code draws. You can say you don't have any of these things like 200, 300, 400, 500. All right, so that's basically it. Once you do that, you have a very clear, clean view. So first we'll deal with slit.lk. Right, so you can see here, if you go here guys, you can see some info about the pages, alumni, blog, business category, comments, computing, downloads, engineering, feed, media. So you can get a good idea like how this is structured. So this shows that it is WordPress based on PHP, some JSON content. Oops. So when you know programming, this stuff is quite easy for you to understand. So learn programming, right? So yeah, so cybersecurity guys are the best software engineers, right? Software engineers know shit. All right. Okay. So right. So you have a lot of information. So yeah. So then here you find content. So you have this loaded pages with 200 status code. Yeah, so that's basically that, and the URL is there, method is there, mostly get calls, anything on post? Nope. And then some other info. Right, that's good. And also it shows SSL like cookie without secure flag set. So you can go and check these are big concerns. If it is medium, so might not be a real problem. You can read it and you can decide just by the outset, is there a problem? So strict transport security is not enforced, might not be a big issue. So there's, as you can see, there's not much of issues here in the state site. So this is the request that they have sent and the response that they have got, 200, and you can see. So you can even you can copy this and then you can send to the repeater, and then you can get this one. So these are the options that you have. You can, if you want, you can modify any parameters, and guys, you can send it and you can wait for the nice response. Yes, that's a cool response. That's a large response. And you can get the headers of the response, text, HTML, and the rendering. So this will open it to different site, I believe. So you can get the rendering also. Yeah, it's cool, no? So you can craft packets and you can send it to the web server, and guys, you can get it to the render, right? So yes, that's quite cool. Alright, virtual guest lecture. So you can see the slit is going in the right direction, virtual everything, work from home, stuff like that. Alright, so that's not the thing. So you guys can do any sort of request response using this thing called repeater, right? So if you want, you can do a post and see whether it works. What do you think? Will it work? Let's see. C404, it's not found. Pretty bad, pretty bad. So render. So yes, you get some content, but the page cannot be found. And again, if you do a get and then go, let's check. Yeah, it's working fine. That's cool. Okay, got it. go to the target again. So you have that, so you can get the request and response. And here also you can see the response guide. Here also you can see the response guide. So all these things are there. So and that's basically the sitemap, other than the stuff that you have. So you don't have any other additional info here. So helium.com, so this is a bug bounty thing. So yeah, so they don't have a lot of issues. It's clean guys. And see the directories also very few. Some stuff here, um, nothing much. Yeah, so yeah, so that's basically it. So now what you can do is we can run some scans. So right click and we can say scan. So I'm going to do a scan. So you can do a crawl and audit both, or I can do a crawl first and I can give it here, and I can do a detailed scope configuration. So you can say don't go and scan this guy. Alright, so let's say okay. So once you do that, you go to the dashboard guys. You can see some of those scans are running. So the requests are going, which is good. So once you go to the settings, you can find out the scan configuration. When you go here and you say edit, you can find out what's happening wrong. Crawl limits, crawl optimization, yeah, all the cool stuff will be there. So it uses my memory more. So 15 locations scrolled. You can go and get the details of that, the event log. If there's anything important, it will give out. So yeah, so unauthenticated crawl. So yeah, so it's not authenticated. Yeah, so that stuff would be there. So now you can see if there anything getting added. It seems some of these things, it's filling some information. You can see here also it's scanning, it getting new pages uploaded. So it might give some issues as well. So if you find some interesting issues, you can report it as well. So you can right click and say report issue. You can get a report created, set the severity. If you think no, this is high, so you can set it to high. You can leave it, set the confidence also. So this is your researcher, right? So you guys have to do these things, right? So you can do report also. You can get HTML report of this. Select the types of details in the report from your scan. Include relevant extract. Yeah, why not? And you can select a file, give a name to the file. First report. All right. Okay, I'm not sure it's going to work. Report title, Burp scanner report. Right, those things will be there. So report completed. So once you go in, you'll be able to find. So basically, it's a text document. So you can open it through either text edit. It might work or might not really sure, but or else you can open through HTML, so you can open through the browser. Right. So right, so I have another browser. Oh, sorry, this is my, it's not good output. So this is my Epic browser. I have loads of browsers other than the Brave sheet. Okay. It doesn't look good on that, but if I've seen here, it's not that bad, right? So you can get flag set and some other info, right? So don't worry, you can get it cleaned out, so you can get reports like that. All right, guys. So no robot.txt, some of the files are not listed, so I'm going to run a crawl here as well. So there are so many other things. I'm not going to overload with anything, but see, I can do audit as well. Create new tasks. Once you do like audit, right? So there are so many similar types of items. Say URLs. There's probably no need to check both these JPGs. So there's one JPG here and probably another JPG. So I don't want to do for both, right? So means it doesn't make sense. So I can consolidate items. So I can remove some of the unnecessary items, and basically I can get into a lot of things to work with. So only have 61 items. So that's good. So I can start the scan as well. So if I go to dashboard, you can see now 2 buggers are running. Right, still it started. Right, so it's going and going and going. So slit is also going with 99 locations called. Yeah, so that's what you do, right? That's what you do. Yeah, so let me go to the target again. So you can see these things get populated with more content, which is cool, right? Yeah, so you can find a lot more issues, concerns, getting. Yeah, so here even any of these things you can color code them. So if you found out something interesting, yeah. So those are the valuable things that you will learn in the initial pages. Hope it's clear, guys. Yeah. So only thing is it eats out my memory. Yeah. So always good to have a good machine to do all these things, right? Right. And then comes the proxy. So you can intercept. So we have seen the interception. So this is not the hardest thing to do. So we can intercept on, and let me go to my site and go to Helium. Oh, no login page, is it? Tokens by hotspot. That's what you have. Quite boring. Okay, let me say buy hotspot. Alright, that's something. Yeah, it's Facebook because helium.com. Yeah, forward. Okay, maybe it's with helium. Alright, it's okay. So yeah, so you can order something. So that would work. So this is static image forward. Yeah, so I can forward all these things. That, or I can just drop. Yeah, because no, I shouldn't drop it. I should have just switch on the intercepts. Alright, so let me check now. If I go to a different site with a login, we can do some intruding. So what would be the best site to do that? Find a site with some login info. Oh, there was this email site. I don't remember exactly what's the name of it. We'll do a quick search. Email. HubSpot is it? Was it HubSpot? No, not HubSpot. Okay, we'll do a quick search. Alright, I'm getting few sites. I'm not getting what I really require. Alright, just give me a second, I will look for it. Okay, I found it, Stripo. So that's also doesn't provide me, but they do kudos. Say thank you. Yeah, so we go there, Stripo email. Okay, let me check whether my Burp captures it. Give it a time. Oh, this is running and running and running. I stopped this set, so I'm not going to do any detailed analysis anyhow. So, do I really want to do that? No, nope, I don't want to do that. And then I have to add it to the scope, otherwise I don't think it will come here, or else again I have to remove it and do paste URL. Yeah, so that should do that. Alright, so now I'm going to the proxy, intercept is on, and then I'm going to sign in. So let me show you an example. Alright, so this is okay, it's alright, it's alright. Okay, so now it's loading. Okay, what is this? Some JavaScript. Okay, so now this is the case. Yep. One more. Alright, that's okay. This intercept is off, intercept is on. Now I'm going to log in with my password, who knows what. Right, that's my password for Stripo, and then I'm going to sign in. I don't save, it's my most important password. I don't want anyone to see that. Okay, what is this? Okay, forward it. All right, no, not yet. Forward this, forward that. All right, okay. Still, I'm not getting there. What is the issue, guys? Sign in. Let me intercept on sign in. That's my packet. Okay. That's from HackerOne. So I don't want HackerOne anymore and any of this. I can close them down. I need only this guy. Okay, let me check now. Okay, connection close. This is from Stripo. That's the Facebook login. It should be all right. Good. Okay, there seems to be a bit of a problem here. Sign in with Google. So this is what I require. So if I go here, we enable. I say set this off. I go here again. Nope. Okay. I'm getting everything here. So I need only the Stripo email. So I'm looking for that. Where is it? I do another one click just to make sure everything is fine. Okay, I don't see that. Probably the same problem which I had earlier. So I need to check why is that. Okay. Okay, it's generated by connection is closed. Maybe there's this other issue. Okay, let me check something else. It's not on the page we have a login now. So let me check another one without HTTPS. This is also HTTPS, is it? Okay. Twitter.com. Okay, so twitter.com. Okay, go there. All right, no, let me check another one. Okay, let me check one. Okay, I went to the twitter.com and just insert username and password. If I come here, all right, so I can get the intercept and then it's a post request, and guys, you can see the password whatever I entered here. All right, so that's not a big deal, and also my email. Yep, session password and email. So now you guys can send this to the intruder. Send to the intruder. Previously used repeater, now to the intruder. Okay, once you go there, and positions, it tries to show what are the things that you can uh, try to hack in, but I don't want them. I clear them. I'm just getting the password, which is this one, and I'm going to add it. And I go to the, so there's attack type, we select as sniper. So there are a few other attack types: battering arm, pitchfork, cluster blown. Right. And then I can select the payloads. As the payload, I can select the option here, passwords, and you can select all these things, and then I can payload time, blah blah blah. So I can start the attack. So we should not do this, right? So it will get blocked. So, but rather you can try this out. Can see. So I'm going to basically stop this one, right? Yeah, so you can see like some of those things, so the 400s, 302 status, so some error messages, all these things are there. So you can try out 3,400 times. Right, so I don't want to do that. I'm going to close this down. Yep, okay. Okay, right, so that's a very cool one, right? So fine, so I think we have done a lot for the first session. So now we have a basic idea how this process works, and so you can get a lot of information, and you can try a lot of options. So yeah, you have to understand extender and comparer. So we'll do some experiments in the next session, guys. So please try out these things, be familiar with Burp, and hope it's been good. So see you soon with the second one. Thank you.